Good afternoon, I am Argonaut. This is Stafford Reborn, the sequel to Stafford Case. And so yesterday, the previous stream already managed to figure out in the end that the old man who keeps dying and resurrecting, he might not be doing so because of natural causes. He seems to be, he's poisoned. Dun dun dun. But let's see. Yeah, my streams are functioning, so let's go and play the game. I've got a slight headache today, so, you know, whenever my brain seems slower than usual, I can use that as an excuse. So this is the nurse. My father was a soldier. My father, he served with the lieutenant. My father admired that man. He said that even though the lieutenant was past retirement, he was going back to the front lines. My father called it courageous. He said so in his letter. But my father didn't come back. The only person to come back was this man right here. Every ally and enemy was wiped out, and the lieutenant here was the only person who made it off that battlefield. In fact, the man who couldn't die was made the platoon leader. It was just given that such a platoon would be given more dangerous missions. My father must have been prepared to give his life. I know that, but why is this old geezer the only one being held up as a hero? It was my father and other people in this unit who risked their lives, not that man. So why is the person who can't die hoarding all the glory? That was the part that I just couldn't stand anymore. Is that how you thought from the very beginning? Or is just the way you decided to think? What did you just say? First off, my condolences for everything with your father. Also, I understand all this hatred you must be feeling. However, what I don't understand is directing all that hate at a single person. After all, there are people who deserve your hate far more than the lieutenant, the enemy soldiers who killed your father, the high-ranking officers who gave such dangerous orders, and the politicians who started the war. She's got a point. Yet the enemy soldiers are already dead. The officers and politicians are hard to identify, so they're unapproachable. In comparison, an old soldier on his deathbed who needs a nurse to look after him. There's the perfect person to become the object of your hatred, so you... Yes, I did it, what of it? Even when I kill him, he comes right back after anyways. I probably killed him 100 times already. And that amount, you know what? I'm fine with it. You're probably right to think that. What? The lieutenant's feelings regarding death were quite dulled, of that I'm certain. Even before I began my investigation, I confirmed his intentions again and again, all to the same response. I don't care how many times you have to kill me. Just get it done all the way. That's what he told me, which is why I resorted to such means. No, but this 3-week phenomenon you created, it may have meant pain for those around him, but the lieutenant himself said he didn't remember. I would say that he suffered little to no damage from all of this. Still, I'm sorry to interrupt, but what's going on exactly? Nurse, are you alright? For 3 weeks, you stared at the lieutenant as he had no idea what was going on, and I hope you're satisfied. What are you doing? It's over. Please leave. Dear me. You. You got back quicker than I imagined. I thought you have a harder time with the extra shots I fired. I used my father's frequent target practice as an excuse. Plus, you're the quick one. You've settled this case wonderfully. To think that the nurse, you know, for someone hired on by my father, quite liked her. Unfortunate, really. The murder charges should be hard to prove, but you can at least get her for assault. Charges? No, there will be no charges. You blabbed about my plan where the nurse could hear about it. Before the sparks fly, we have to solve things amicably between us. Well, this case proved to be quite the opportunity for you. You two work so well together, since you're both criminals. Indeed. Speaking of which, there's one more thing I was curious about. Miss Inspector, will you clear up my final suspicion? Well, I'm quite tired. I understand finding out about my plan from checking out the safe, but what do you think about opening the safe in the first place? That wasn't part of your job description. Plus, with the reasoning you just used, all of the investigating you did with the gun was quite similar to the methods that the nurse used. That's too much of a coincidence. I think you knew about the IV fluids from the very beginning. And from that thought, call it a feeling, but oddly enough, one thing has been bothering me. That oddly puffy sleeve of yours. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Just try my hand at reasoning as well. Of course. After all, I'm the son of a man with supernatural abilities. I had no choice but to learn a thing or two. On an island beyond the ocean, they say supernatural abilities run rampant, so people with them are shackled and controlled just like this. So that island is called England. I don't know why can't they just name it? Red, I see. Isn't that the most dangerous threat level among your kind? What sort of skill do you use? Reading people's minds? Don't you pretend to know after you already investigated with your superpower? You're more shameless than you look. I couldn't know everything beforehand. That's why I had to investigate to figure out the truth. Either way, I met your demands, so I don't think that's important anymore. Indeed, that's not the important thing here. It's a red bracelet wearing, superpower wielding freak like you doing around here. That's the important thing. I'm pretty sure the people wearing shackles like yours are only allowed to live in designated areas. Haha, speaking of criminals, I guess it's not just me and the nurse. Get your hands off of me and tell me what you want. I want a contract. I want you to state that you won't make any sort of public statement about me or the will. If you do, I'll sign it too, promising I won't give you up to the Bureau. I'm not of the mind to reveal the skeletons in my closet just to report another person. Don't you think putting our assets on the line with a signature would give you some relief? But yeah, I was wondering, like, when do we get to use our powers? And there has to be something with the sister still, like some dark secret. I have one condition. I want my fees paid to me by tomorrow, in cash of course. That's a lot to ask. I think it's a fair deal as it stands. The problem isn't about the fairness, it's about the trust. We hold each other's weakness in the palms of our hands. I doubt any good will come from dragging this sort of relationship out for a long time. Above all, I don't trust you. You think you can trust me? I don't have the cash now, please. You've got to wait until I get my inheritance, as we stated in our initial contract. Now get a loan if you must, but I want my payment. Even if it's an illegal loan, you can normally get cash in a few hours. And now, the stopped timeline of the lieutenant is flowing once more. If it's as the doctor said, it'll be difficult for him to make it past a week. But is he gonna die naturally or not? With me and the nurse out of the picture, there's nothing left to stop you from getting your inheritance. There's nothing to lose, no? In the end, it's all about the money. If things end like this, trusting you will be simple. Good. The contract should be quick enough to write out. Last but not least, I've got one more piece of advice. When the lieutenant dies, the nurse's grudge may be redirected at his whole family. I take measures to guarantee she doesn't make another sudden appearance. The law will be on your side. I'll keep that in mind. Now, sign here and thumbprint here. There you go. Is that your actual name you signed? Yes. No, I've got nothing to hide after all this. True. It's been nice working with you. Inspector Red Fins. Shocking, it's Inspector Red Fins. I had no idea. From the moment I discovered that ability, I started running into enemy fire, shooting blindly as I did, and dying on repeat. After a few hundred times of doing that, suddenly there were no more enemy soldiers in front of me. When I looked back, I was a war hero. That was only the beginning. After that, I took part in 5 more wars. I received 4 medals of honor. My deaths numbered in the thousands. But for every one of my deaths, I killed 2 of theirs. My entire lifetime was a cycle of death and resurrection on the battlefield. But even now, that comes to an end. My vision is growing dim, and even the voices of my children calling to me scatter like a mist. True death has come for me, finally. Even I will be able to sleep that long slumber, finally. What I've been hoping for this long time. Death. I've been on the battlefield, far past the age of retirement, but it wasn't about patriotism or honor. I can't say those things played no part in it, but at my very core, that wasn't my reason. It's just I couldn't bear it. I couldn't find my way along those peaceful streets in life. I should have died again and again, yet I lived on as if nothing was the matter. To be the only one left to enjoy this life, I simply couldn't bear it. Father. I wanted to die. That's why I went back onto that battlefield. Yet, that was the wrong choice. I couldn't die anyway, and the only precious lives of all those young people in front of me besides me were lost. I've died 1,000 deaths, but none of them were my last, yet I brought the final death on many times more than that. And even at the most important times in your lives, I wasn't able to be at your side. I'm sorry, I couldn't even give you what you deserved. If I could get one more chance, if I could only be born once more, I'd live a new sort of life, and that would give this moment meaning. Maybe he will be isekai'd to another world, a life to give my death meaning, that life. Excuse me, that's my seat. Oh, isn't this that lovely coincidence, nurse? You're still here. Indeed, my preparations went long, but as you can see, I'm leaving now. Seems like you're searching for a hometown as well. Given up on revenge? I couldn't go through with it. Even if I wanted to, I can't even get close to them until the trial begins. Does that mean you won't be here for the trial? Whether I'm here or not, the result will be the same. They'll get their restraining order. You should be getting a whole lot more for assaults. You avoided jail time in exchange for keeping that man's secrets, no? Yes, he did just as you advised him to do. Dear me. Seems like he told you what I said. Well, I guess I told him of no provision about keeping it a secret from you. You're disgusting. Excuse me? Always looking down at people, even though you yourself only took that job for the money. It's all just so gross. You, me, that man's son, the old man himself. Then in the company of his beloved children, he gets to direct his own touching death, repenting for all his sins. Yet none of that makes the dead feel any happier or brings them back to life. It makes him and only him feel better in the end. Haha, I must have said something funny. Are you just going to look down on your nose at me again? No, I'm just a bit relieved, is all. What? Actually, I'm taking the train going to the other direction. My destination is New Mexico. The only reason I took a seat here was to see how you were doing one last time. Seeing how you are now, it seems that fortunately you haven't figured it out yet. Figured out? What? As you and I poked around, figuring out the lieutenant's skill, I deliberately avoided mentioning something. I didn't mention what ending the lieutenant has waiting for him. Excuse me, what are you? I have no obligation to tell you what that is, but since it's you, you should be able to figure it out with a little thought. Please, take your time and chew it over. Does it mean that he's going to hell for all the lives he's taken, or is it just that he still can't die? Like he's still gonna suffer, like die and be reborn, like, I don't know, a minute later or something. What you talking about? The ending waiting for the lieutenant? Isn't the old man going to die of old age soon? Dying of old age? If his cause of death were old age... No way. He can't. I've got to get back. The restraining order. Where am I? Who are you? What is this? So yeah, he became young. His old age has been like reverted back to a young man. Why is it like he's, I don't know, 18, 20 or something here probably? Like why doesn't he go to when he's a baby? Or I guess like, yeah, he's... Yeah, okay, it makes sense sort of like if he's, you know, he's an adult, physically he's not growing anymore, but he's not getting, you know, smaller either, because, you know, when people get older they usually shrink a bit. So I guess it makes sense. Daddy? Is that really you, Daddy? Dear Lord, looks like the young face of my father I saw in that album. Has he been made young again? Daddy, are you talking about me? Ah yeah, because he of course forgot all his memories from that time. Oh Daddy, God has really granted you a new life. You can't be serious. This is... Not a chance. His resurrection even allows him to come back from dying of old age. His skill allows him to reverse death from old age and go back in time until the cause of death is completely eliminated. Have his cells been restored to the moment just before they started aging? No, more importantly than that, my inheritance. Your inheritance. Whose inheritance are you talking about precisely? Dad, Daddy's been returned to us. So what's this all about inheritance? Oh, Daddy, you can finally get away from war and live in peace with us. What? I'm not sure what you mean exactly. But peace sounds good. That woman, that Inspector White, did she? But yeah, I think it's a bit stupid of the guy to pay her because it wasn't confirmed that the guy was dead or not. I wasn't expecting him to go back, decades physically, but like, yeah, I wasn't sure whether he would actually die or not. That damned con artist. Hey there, what do you think you're doing? The train's already leaving the station. You're gonna hurt yourself. Have a nice trip, nurse. Surprisingly, you may have been seen straight through to the heart of me. Lieutenant, even if you don't remember, I gave my promise to you. I told you I'd grant you a natural death. I guess, yeah, he got a natural death, but just didn't stick. Now all of those blood-soaked bodies will disappear with your memories, and that spells the end of what I can do for you. Now with this new life you've been reborn with, you have to keep the promises you made. This sort of reminds me of, like, Planescape Torment or something. Like, it's not quite the same, but a bit similar, like the protagonist in that game. I pray for all these deaths that are eventually given. You lived a life that has been given back to you. So wait, this was the ending? I got an achievement, revival, see the ending. Okay, that... If I'd known it was this short, I would have finished the whole game yesterday. Guess it was okay, but it's like, okay, we didn't even get to use our own supernatural abilities. Like, no, I think this should have been one of the, side stories in Stafford Case. Like, I got this in some bundle, so I didn't pay that much for it, but it still feels a little bit like a ripoff. Like, if you... How much is it on Steam right now? It's like $5. I'm gonna go check. Let's see. Stafford Reborn. Yeah, it's €5 with no discount or anything. It's, €5 for 2.5 hours of gameplay or something. Isn't worse, and the gameplay was okay. Like, there's nothing particularly bad about it, but still, I don't know. So, I guess it's it's different, so that it's good in that sense, but it is still a bit too much of a snippet. Like, at least Stafford Case had more of a grander arc to it or something, and but yeah, I think yesterday I said that there's gonna be another sequel to these games. I think it's gonna be released next month, not this month. So let's see if I get around to playing that. I do sort of like them, but it's still. I guess I just want more like a cool idea, but like it's sort of like it could have been, like, in the context of this whole alternative world they've created with all these superpowers. It's still like, it didn't have so much plot twists or anything, like compared to Stafford Case. Like, it was still much simpler. Like, okay, it was a surprise that the nurse was giving him poison, but that's a bit boring. Like, it's not something, you know, ground shattering. Like, it wasn't really that much of a surprise that the nurse had a dark secret, because most characters in these Stafford games seem to have them. But I don't know, this is gonna be a short stream. I'm not gonna start a new game right now or anything, so I can't really think of anything else to say. Like, it's not bad, but still disappointing. That's it. I'm Adventure Argonaut. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.